everybody. I am super late today and I sincerely apologise. For those who've checked in, I'm okay. It was just a very big day. How are we all? Were you all enjoying Saturday? Well, all of those of us in Australia are enjoying Saturday. I just want to double, triple check that we're all going okay. It was an incredible day today. I actually was up late and then up early, but that's life, isn't it? Life when we want to go out and do things. Anyhow, I want to talk to you today about part 2 of anxiety and tiredness, and here's why. Because there's this whole practical element which, if we don't understand or we haven't heard about or there's no experience in, sometimes we can miss what's actually happening for us. And I know this happens, as we talked about yesterday with the anxiety and tiredness, it happens across all levels and all facets of anxiety. You know, no matter, I want to laugh about it, and no matter which area your brain's specialising in anxiety, this is what's going to be happening practically for you. I must slow down. Yes, I must slow down. Oh dear. It's going to be fun tonight, I can tell you. To everyone who's watching replay, thank you very much for coming along and watching replay. I really appreciate you. And I hope this helps as you go along on your journey to having a full and healthy life. Now, as we can see, it's Saturday. Relaxed schedule. Now, I wanted to share with you what the practical side of anxiety and tiredness looks like when we begin to go out in the world, even when we've been out in the world for a while and we still have anxiety batting for us. Because it's not an instant overnight transformation, and a lot of that reason is because our brain, its automatic response to everything it is to keep us safe, okay? So even when you're at my stage where I know who I am, I'm very comfortable with that, I know where I'm going, what's happening in my life, my brain will still, if I'm overtired, like today, I think I had about 5 hours sleep. So for me, I will be overtired. It's totally self-inflicted. Because my passion is that when I get into technology, and like last night it was setting up all the ins and outs of my website, I actually really enjoy that side of creativity as well. So I can't stop because I just love it. But I think I gave up around 1 and then had to get up around 6 or 7. But anyhow, this is what happens. This is the reality of what will happen with our brain. Now today I actually took a photo for you so you will know that it's not just you. You're not in this alone, okay? If I can just drag the photo up. So I was severely overtired, and to set the scene, I had been to this particular venue a number of times before. So over the years, I've been there at least 2 times every year, at least. Okay, so often it happens more. I have a privilege of volunteering with a business that visits churches all over the world, but I help them out when they're local. So today when I got there, you would think, okay, you know, the brain shouldn't react, she's safe, etc., etc., etc. And you would think it wouldn't. Well, I certainly didn't think it would, but all of a sudden, you know, we're unpacking all the stock, and when you get to know your body really well with anxiety, you become aware of when you get hot. Okay, so I didn't have the closed hands and closed feet, but now I know the triggers are coming, have started in my brain when I'm overly hot. And no, it's not a hot flush, girls. That's not my cup of tea at this point in time, and I hope it isn't. So what happened was we set up, and then this is where I ended up, because inside for me, so it's actually full of women at a conference for women. And then what I did is stand outside the door. So I'm still in a foyer area, and I stood outside the door, and I felt I'm still feeling good about who I am, why I'm there, etc., etc. But my body wants to go into meltdown. And if we can think of it as a cognitive function, so all my senses are in overdrive. The perils of technology just cut out, like, unreal. So anyhow, it's like my body's going, danger, danger. And I'm going, oh, for goodness sake, I am so safe here. This is crazy. But what I've learnt to do is a few things. So let's pull up our list, because we all want to be well. No one walks around saying, oh, I'm in love with having anxiety. Not. First of all, I want to encourage you, don't give up. Don't ever, ever, ever give up that there is life on the other side of this. But it's not, oh, I've got anxiety, then one day I haven't. It's a process of walking through, okay? And it's a process of making a plan around what we know or know potentially could happen as we do each phase of becoming well. Okay, like, I have big plans to travel the world with my business, etc., etc. So all I will need to do is plan. It becomes that simple. Key 2 is consistency. I can tell you that I could give you, an individualised plan for you to come through and out the other side. But if you don't follow through on the plan for you with consistency, even one step every day, then you won't come through it. You just won't, because you're giving up on yourself. You're giving up on the reality that you can have a life on the other side of this, or, even this time in 3 months, if you want to be consistent about changing your life, okay? So, it's the old, I will say this till the cows come home. It's like one step, one day at a time helps you climb the mountain. And it also helps you climb down the other side of the mountain and then up the next mountain, okay? But if we don't take that one step, then we're going to be sitting in the same chair or the same bed, same back channel this time next year, okay? We don't want that. That's not who we are. Okay. Key 3, practice your breathing at home. Those in my Facebook group know that I will advocate till the cows come home that 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, practice for 1 minute every day is going to help you no end, okay? It was one of the key factors of me being able to become well, okay? And I use it all the time. So even today when I was out and my brain's gone into overdrive because I was tired, etc., etc., breathing, okay? Focusing in this moment right here, right now. And because you're doing 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out, you literally have to focus right here, right now. So you're training your brain to get into this moment and stop wanting to go off and run away because you think I'm unsafe, okay? I've looked at it so much from people who teach it, as in psychologists, psychiatrists, etc., etc., health experts, and it doesn't matter about the brain's reaction to being unsafe. It's such a primal instinct. But the trouble is when you've got anxiety, the brain kicks in saying you're not safe when the physical reality can be that you are very safe. Okay, so like today, I knew why it kicked in. And so I took an option of just standing outside the door, breathing, getting involved in the worship outside the door. And the thing is, when you're at the space that I am, the last thought on your mind is, who cares what other people think? I don't. It's like, I know who I am, where I am, what I'm doing, and I'm just going to stand here until my body and my brain can calm down. So Hi, beautiful. Good to see you. So we can't control what our brain's going to react to, but what we can do is plan for and control and have a peace about what we need to do in that moment to come through. Key 4, exercise your will. I can't impress enough how important it is for you to exercise your will. I've worked with people who will tell me they can't leave the house. And I've worked with people who tell me they can't leave the house, but let's do something about planning how I'm going to get out of this house. Now you get one guess, one free guess. Who's the person that got out of the house and is turning their life around? That's right, the person who said, I don't know how to, but let's do this, okay? And that is what we call exercising your will, exercising your choice to do something about it. Now, if you're watching this and you know someone with anxiety, don't you ever dare say that to them. Ever. Because you don't know their process, you don't know what's gone behind the scenes. We live in a culture where people don't even talk about emotions very much yet. So you can't go up to someone with anxiety and say, oh, it's your choice. No, you've got it wrong. Okay? It's not a choice to have the anxiety, ever. Our brain just has gone into overload. It's our choice whether we want to put a plan in place that's suited for us as a person, and we want to work at it one day at a time. I can't tell you how frustrating it is to hear from the mouths of people who think they know what they're talking about that anxiety is a choice. Pardon me, sorry. I think I've been talking too much today at the women's conference. Excuse me. No one. I do not know one person that would ever say, oh yeah, I chose to have anxiety. Sure, yeah, I chose to be in a position where the world's going to look at me and say, well, you haven't got your act together, have you? Oh, the judgment is just phenomenal in this world. But we don't need to worry about it because we're doing something about being free of what's trying. And think of it this way, your brain's trying to do the right thing by you and keep you safe. It's just being primitive and not living realistically because we're safe. And if you're not safe, I'm telling you now, do everything you can to get into a physically safe situation. Key 5, conscious choices we make is exactly what I just talked about. We make a conscious choice whether we want more of the same tomorrow that's happened today. I made significant changes in my life because I continually choose that I don't want more of the same every day. I couldn't do it and I wouldn't do it. And I'm aware that we get handed down so much from our families that says, well, if you're doing something different, you're doing it wrong. Listen to me. If you're doing something different, you're doing it right. Okay? If what has gone before us is not increasing our level of kindness to each other, increasing our ability to go out and conquer our part of the world, helping others, bringing more love into this space, then you want to run from toxicity like, you're being chased down the road by a pack of dogs, okay? I can't tell you enough, I love my family, my extended family, I do, from my heart. But sometimes we have an idealised image of what we really love family to be. But it's an idealised image. Sometimes I think back to those, if you're same age as me, or even my kids have seen all those shows like The Brady Bunch, a whole bunch of American shows that, the good, wholesome family. Listen, if you've had a good, wholesome family, all power to you. That means you can go out and conquer the world in that area, okay? I don't know many people who have come from that. And we need better tools and a whole lot of different equipping, and then we're going to help other people as well. So we have to make conscious choices sometimes to step away from what is toxic for us. And the irony being, they probably think we're toxic for them. Okay, no worries. Cool. Let it all go. But make conscious choices about your life and where you want to head. All right? Key 6, I am in charge of my life's direction. Never forget it. You are in charge of your life's direction. And it's never too late to start again. I've done it myself. It's never too late to dream up a new direction and take one step every day. It will, if you're suffering with mental health or facing mental health challenges, as I prefer to say, it does take an extreme amount of effort. So for me today, I'd planned on coming home, jumping on live, doing my live, and because I love, chatting to you all. What happened was, I came home, I ate, and I just passed out where I was sitting. It wasn't a choice. Sometimes there's no choice. For 4 hours, simply because my brain had been in overload. But I loved my day. I loved every part of it. I loved being around and helping other women. You have this passion to help others. So just be aware that the physical side of changing our reality is tiring for our brain, okay? And that's part of making a personalised plan to be well, is that you have to make an allowance that when you get home from doing the next thing that you need to try, your brain's just going to go, oh yeah, pass out right now, crash. And you will. And look, I used to, when I first started helping out with the business that I go and volunteer for, I used to come home from doing 2 sessions in the morning. I'd barely have enough energy literally to put food in my mouth. I mean, way back in the early days, I'd say to my kids, oh, I'm on my way home, and sometimes one of them would just throw a sandwich together for me, and I knew I didn't even have enough energy to stay awake to drink a cup of tea. It was that bad. I'd go to sleep for a couple of hours, and then I'd get up, wash the face, prepare, and go out and do the same thing again. But for me, this is how much more I wanted my life back. I planned for what I would have to do. I knew that I would pass out, and I knew what I could do from there on in. Yeah, healthy, joyful exhaustion. Exactly. And see, today's just the living example of you can be in a space where you're happy and healthy and whole, but your brain's still going, oh, excuse me, miss. Run. But you make a plan for it, okay? We really do and can make a plan for getting well. And look, today was the first day that I told one of the people that I've worked alongside with for the last few years doing this, how I manage it, that, and they would never have known that anxiety was a big part of my life in all that time. And then they were able to tell me of somebody else who goes through what I do too, that, the other person that they know, any contact with people for any length of time can put them in bed to sleep for anywhere from 5 hours to a few days. So can we see if we have these conversations and we're able to normalise what happens for us, what happens for other people, then we're going to be able to help each other get through this and onto the other side. I was telling my friend that, my plans are to go overseas to America, because America's been on my heart since forever, like many, many decades. But my first trip, I'll go for 9 weeks. And she said, oh, are you staying with someone? And I said, no. I said, because when I come home, I need to be on my own. I need that space just for my brain to decompress. If I need to fall asleep, I fall asleep, etc., etc. So going out and travelling the world when you've got anxiety might sound nuts, but it's not. We can plan for it. And just don't rush it. And it'll all come together. Okay. I just want to, to share this with you, to give you hope that even when we have big plans and big dreams, they can come to fruition. We build into our life day by day, and we build that firm foundation by making a different choice every day, exercising our will, and being determined that you deserve a life. You deserve a magnificent life, irrespective of the toxicity that's gone before you. And for me, I go further in that my children deserve to know that they can have a magnificent life too. And we don't get to have something out of the ordinary by doing the same thing the same day in the same way and hoping that we'll get a different outcome. Okay? If you have any questions or comments, please comment below. Thanks for joining in. It's been wonderful to be here with you. My will, no, just me. I'd love to sit here and do some more creative work on my blogs, etc., for my website. And knowing me, I'll probably will. But what I do now is I put a time limit on it. I exercise my will and say, right, be real. Your brain can handle so much. And because I've got a big day tomorrow, I've got 3 sessions at a massive church, like massive. I know that my cognitive overload will be better. And I've been to this church like massive amounts of time, and I've been there with the business and I've been there without the business. I've been there on my own. But I know if I do it tired, I'm just going to make it harder for my brain to cope with all the cognitive activity. Okay? Yes, that's right, Jojo. We deserve, but no one's going to give it to us. We have to get up, use those 2 feet and start marching to the beat of our drum and do it, accomplish it. You're welcome. You're more than welcome. And I know that you can do this too. Honestly, I do. I'll just move this out of the road. Whatever you're doing tomorrow, make it precious for you, make it beautiful for you, and plan to know how far you can push each time so that you can make that much difference in your life each day and this time next year. I don't like to say your whole world will have turned around, but your whole world will have progressed into an even better place than today. Okay, my name's Linda, and if you feel that that you have people who will be battling with all of this secretly, and believe me, there are people who battle this secretly, because with 1 in 4 people around the world having mental health challenges, there are people who are doing this secretly. Okay? Share and care for them, because you'll be amazed at how many people don't talk about this. All right. Blessings and dreams, and I'm not sure what time I'll be on tomorrow, but I hope to be on tomorrow. If not, I'll just pass out, and I will see you all Monday. And on Monday, I'm actually hoping to get back into doing the actual insights of social anxiety. Okay? I will see you then. Hang on. Bless you too, Joe. Bye. Oh, look.